again.
Good morning.
Some of you who stayed for the lunch last week have already heard me say this, but I'm Bobbi. I am in my third and final year of seminary currently, and I am taking a class called Leading Christian Communities in Mission. And I am currently doing a project over the course of the semester. It's broken down into 3 sections, and the first section, I really get to spend some time learning about the history of St. Matthew's, like what makes us tick and what excites us, and looking at finances and demographics and all those things. But I really get to learn about this community, and it has been such a joy and a privilege to do that. I've gotten the chance to speak with many of you, and the things that you have been teaching me are things that I actually found when I went and sat down in the archives of the church, like down in the little down by Kindering in the closet. I opened up and I sat on the floor for a good couple hours and went through photo albums. And we've got some pictures here that I would love to share with you. So here's some historical pictures of the church, and some of you have probably seen these before. But St. Matthew's has always been a place of welcome. In the brownish article, when the new building first opened, this was in the paper, and it says, "A cordial welcome awaits you at St. Matthew's." And then when this sanctuary opened up, this was put out. It says, "We're a place for all people." And when we rebranded on our website, we wanted to make sure that we knew that all were welcome, and chose a very colorful logo that represented that. Another thing that I have been learning that is in the DNA of the church is that we are very focused on the outside world. So I have another slide. From the very beginning, the Elderly Connections group, which has come back, we have another Connections group, they find connection to the outside world. St. Matthew's has been involved at Renton High School. We organized as a church a 4-week course to help educate on the drug problem. We have hosted clothing drives, and in partnership with the Salvation Army, pre-Luther's Table, we opened up a coffee house to provide a place for people to go to. What's next? Yes, these are my favorites. And in 1956, just a year after we opened in 1955, St. Matthew's was aiding a displaced family from Europe. And in 1962, Pastor Osmundson organized, without people knowing, a picket outside the church on Pentecost Sunday. In his picket, he wanted to educate people, educate the church on the issues that were going on in the world. He wanted to call attention to the members to call attention to the members to the necessity as Christians to get involved in the needs of the community, nation, and the world. He highlighted that in the climax of his sermon, which was interrupted with a stranger. And the stranger who interrupted his sermon, they had this dialogue about what was going on in the world. And this person represented a person of the world. And as part of the proceedings, he blockaded the church doors because he wanted to call attention to how the church was being closed to people, and why that was necessary that we were involved in that. And then in 1966, this is Pastor Emberg. Maybe some of you know, in 1966 there was like this thing called the Go-Go Girls. Well, that was a hot topic that was talked about at the time. And Pastor Emberg said he didn't think that it was a burning issue that clergy people should have to address. He didn't want to draw attention to that. He says he sees the real problems of today, in 1966, as poverty and discrimination and family breakups. He says, "In the past week, I counseled with 3 attempted suicides. I deal on average with 1 family breakup a month." He goes on to say he believes his congregation of 400 would be better equipped to deal with problem solving if it did not further the church building. He said we would be better off concentrating on people rather than edifice. Pastor Ember declared, I would rather see us engage a marriage counselor, a psychiatrist, and a youth worker and endow their work. So as you can see, this is like in the DNA of our church. It's who we are. And I've been hearing from people some similar things. Let's see what I've been hearing. This is a click as you go. So we are the church that says yes. We're always ready to take action. We're not afraid to ask hard questions. You're seen here. You can come just as you are, and you're accepted. We respond with, here I am. And people just step up. And so, as we step into this next season of the church, I'm wondering, what is God doing in our community? And I invite you to wonder along with me. What is God doing in our community here, but in the community surrounding St. Matthew's? And how is God calling us to engage in that action? Because God's already there and God's already doing something. What is God calling us to do to be an active participant in that? What is our faithful next yes? And I urge you to pray on that and to wonder about that along with